Now, 99% of golfers get this completely wrong, and that is the wrist hinge in the backswing. And if you get your wrist hinge wrong in the backswing, you're going to lose power, you're going to lose accuracy, and you're not going to get to your golfing potential. So if we do an incorrect and very, very common wrist hinge that 99% of the players do, so I just try to do a comfortable, smooth swing there with an 8-iron, carry on that, is 139. Not good. So if we now do a really good wrist hinge. So exactly what we need to do, again, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this with some great drills in this video. So here we go, nice, good wrist hinge. Same shot intent, and in there. Now the carry is at 153. I didn't try to go at that any hard. That was a nice smooth one. And again, huge difference. Only difference there was how I hinged the wrists to start off the backswing, which is what you're getting wrong. So what is this incorrect wrist hinge that you're all doing? And that is having too much upward hinge. So a lot of you are going to be thinking, well, that's how I thought you were meant to hinge the wrists. And partly yes. So here with the hack motion on, we can actually get some good measurement in here. So we can see if I'm hinging the wrists up, what is that technically? That's radial deviation. So hinging up, radial deviation, hinging down, ulnar deviation. So if we look here, I can see I'm at plus 31, almost 32 there. So that's what a lot of golfers are doing as they start off with. And as they start coming more back from there, they get this real kind of narrow movement of the shaft. They get really narrow there. They don't have any good width. They create a lot of cupping of their left wrists, and then that causes the club face to be open. So then in the downswing, what they're going to want to do, they're going to have to throw the club out away from them. That closes off the club face and gets the club wider away, but that can get the height of the swing plummeting too much into the ground, not a good spot. So if we really get that upward hinge early, a lot of instructors used to teach this, hinging the wrist dead straight up to start off with. It's not far off being right, but it can destroy you if you do it like that. Let's have a look here. So again there, that was swing intent, pretty decent, but absolutely terrible when it came to distance. I mean, 129 carry. Ugh, that's disgusting. So like we can see here on the hack motion, if I give it a little scroll down there, we can see top of the backswing, I was cupped beyond belief. Plus 39, what does that mean? That means a lot of extension. What's the word for extension? In more friendly terms, cupping the left wrist, so open face. That's why it popped out a little bit towards the right. If someone knows my golf game, I do not hit it right very often. So if we can have another little look here. Again, not good. Lots of radial deviation at the top in regards to their plus 16. Too radial, as it tells us. Absolutely correct. So we know that it causes all these problems. Again, if I was to hit another ball and I was trying to straighten that shot up, I would really have to throw it. Let's have a look. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to really hinge the wrists up and then I'm going to throw it, which is what a lot of golfers do. And you have no idea you're doing it, which is, again, golf is hard. So again, nothing that you've done wrong. This is just bad information that has been told to you. So hinging the wrists up, and let's throw it to somewhat match it up. And where's my ball going to go now? It's going to go left because it's so easy to overdo it. So we actually saw at the point of impact, I actually achieved a nice flat wrist there, 0. That's good. So I might look at that and think, oh, nice, I got into a good impact position. But wrong, I didn't, because I had to throw it. Because where were we? At the top of the swing, we were extended. So I had to really throw to be able to get that club face back onto the golf ball. But I can see I overdid it there. And where are we again? Too radial, way too radial. So absolutely, let's talk about how to do this properly. So, okay, what we want to do to hinge the wrists correctly, we absolutely still want a little bit of upward hinge. We really do, but we don't want too much. What I tell a lot of my students is imagine there's someone laying on the ground. So let's say I'm hitting the balls at the wall. Let's imagine someone laying on the ground there, and what I'm doing, I'm giving them a thumbs up. That's what we're doing. That's going to mean I'm not going too radial, I'm not hinging the wrists up too much, but I'm getting enough to where it's setting the angles nicely. Because again, if I go too much, club face is going to open, you can see toe to the sky, wrists hinge. But if I just do just a thumbs up, as we can see there, I'm absolutely in radial deviation, as we can see, about 10. So that's absolutely fine. You can see how the hands are in, the club's outside the hands, the face is square as well. So then as I start to turn up The wrist hinge is going to be nicely there, but it's not going to be too much. I'm still going to have my width. And then as I start to turn down, the club could start to get narrower if we've got a very good start to the downswing. I've got a video absolutely coming on about that later on in the week. So here we go. We're just going to make sure we've got a little bit. Imagine again, someone there, and I'm going to show you a great drill to do. Also important, guys, nice loose grip pressure. That's how you can really get your wrists moving nicely without you really trying. So a little thumbs up. That's what we want to do. Someone on the floor. Let's have a little look. Let's actually scroll ourselves down so we can see the shot data a little bit better on hack motion here. There we go. So there's some that are going to be red for sure. We're not all perfect, are we? But it's going to look a lot better shot-wise. So even let's look at the shot. Thumbs up like there's someone laying on the ground behind. Really felt like I could whip it more. Actually pulled that a smidge, so that'll be an interesting one to see. Okay, so even there for me, it said I was a little bit too radial again from there. So not the best on that one. So with these drills I'm going to tell you to do, I can work on this as well. But if we look at top of the backswing, nice and flat with that wrist. And if we look at impact again, in a much better spot. But look at the distance, 156. That's hugely, hugely different. So what we want to do, of course, nice and relaxed. Make sure that we're thumbing up. Again, someone just right there on the ground. Let's get another one in, and then we're going to talk about a good drill to be able to do for this to nail it. And if we look there, absolute winner. That was a lot better. We can see top of the backswing, good spot. Little bit of, tiny bit of shuffling. We can see there, too radial, but not too much. Working in the right direction. Okay, let's talk about how we're going to do this with a good drill. And again, distance-wise, 158 wasn't going at it massively. So again, this really works nicely compared to what we saw before. Okay, guys, so this is our drill here. So what I've done, I've gone into hack motion and I've set an audio feedback for getting into a good position coming back here. So I do this with a lot of my students, even without the hack motion, but it's brilliant if we have this. And then I just call it the thumbs up drill, just like what we've been talking about. Someone on the ground, thumbs up, and that's all we need to focus on from the wrists from there. So I've set this so I'm not doing too much radial deviation. So as you can hear here, hear that sound? Absolutely, that's what we want to hear, that kind of angelic chiming. That's what we want. So there we go. So what I would do with my students, and we've seen huge, huge progress with a lot of my students, especially from a distance standpoint. One of my students was going from 120 odd yards with his 8-iron, and he got a couple in his session about 170. That's crazy. So absolutely crazy, but that's the distance you can get from this. So again, we want to get nice angelic chimes, then swing up and swing through. Again, doesn't hugely matter on what you're feeling with the shot from there. Like again, if it's feels brilliant of a strike, if it's a little bit shorter than normal. Again, when we get it full motion in there, God, you can hear this is picking up as I'm going along. You can hear the chime in the background. But absolutely, as we were saying, we really, again, shouldn't care when we're starting off doing this drill here exactly on, one, where the ball's going, and two, distance-wise. That sounds very counterintuitive, doesn't it? That sounds like completely against what I've just been talking about. But because it's a drill that is working on getting us into a spot we're not comfortable with. So that's where when we learn this and get full motion, then we're going to start to see the real big benefit. That's the thing in golf, we've got to practice everything. So again, just one portion of this drill, there we go, and then swinging up, swinging through into that nice position, gives me a nice little ping when I've done it nice as well. Brilliant. Okay, so this is why our hack motion is really good, and absolutely there is a link in the description and a nice discount as well in the description as well. So let's get to our second drill, as there's not just one. Now guys, before I dive into this second drill, which is really, really awesome, if you've watched this, you love it, but you want a structured plan, there is an absolutely free structured plan that I've made just for this video in the description. So it gives you kind of like almost a routine to do, like almost like a gym workout, but it's designed for only if you've got a minimal amount of time to practice. 50 balls is what it's designed for, so only 50 balls in that session, but it is absolutely brilliant. There's another video along with this of me describing exactly what to do. So if you really want to get this wrist hinge nailed and you want to strike the ball a hell of a lot better, better compression, better power and accuracy, again, it's completely free, just down in the description. Pick that up if you want to. So okay, drill number 2. So what this drill is, this is a really good one, because if you're a golfer who really hugely just continually just radially deviates the wrists hugely, too much to start off with. It's just like what we're talking about. This one will train you a little bit of the opposite. So that's where, if we have something like a head cover directly behind our ball, we can even do this with a ball like Nelly Corda, showing right here, the classic ball roll drill. Just here with the head cover gives you a little bit bigger of a response. If we go and push this, and try to push it back as far as we can as we take the club back, it delays the amount of radial deviation we have. So if I do that again and just try to hinge the wrist dead straight up in the paw movement immediately, let's do that. I can't even hit the wall there. That wall isn't far away from me. So that's where we won't be able to push it back very far. So again, if we push it back far, it's going to train our good movements. It's going to give you width. It's going to give you, of course, still a bit of radial deviation. We need it, but it's not going to give you too much. So again, lovely right there. My thumbs are thumbing up like there's someone laying on the ground. I've pushed that down. I've got good width. My club face is square. Brilliant. So again, just like someone like Nelly Corda used to do, absolutely. She used to always absolutely do that ball roll. For what I know, she still does it. So that's where we can do that. Again, I will do this head cover one. For now, it's a little bit safer in this room. So here we go. I'm just going to push this as far as I can back and hit the golf ball. That's my drill. So here we go. Absolutely brilliant. And that one, I didn't necessarily strike amazingly because I was so concerned about pushing it back as far as I could. But for a slightly thinny hit, that's absolutely great. Really, really good. So absolutely awesome drill. Let's give another one a go. So let's give this a push back. Again, you could even use a towel, a rolled up towel. A cushion would work very nicely. I think a head cover is probably the best one to do, or a golf ball. Another one, let's do it. God, I launched that behind and struck that unbelievably well. Club path was good as well on that. Wow, I like that. That was very, very good. That felt powerful. I felt that power getting into that golf ball as I went through, reloading in there without too much effort. But again, I really launched that, as you could see behind there. So this is a great way to practice to get this. This is the best way, absolutely. And you can absolutely use the hack motion with that. But again, if you want a structured practice plan with this, both drills are in there. Link in the description. It's absolutely free. So go and grab that, have a look at it. Doesn't need much time to be able to do, and you're going to improve a ton from it. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction like this. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So hinge the wrists correctly, not too much radial deviation, and you're going to be playing a hell of a lot better.